Hello everyone. In today's video I'm going to provide a gold and silver market update. It's a question I get most frequently in the shop, has to do with the price of gold and silver, whether it be today's price, last month's price, or price in the future. I'm going to touch on all those things and give my thoughts on that, as well as discuss wholesale costs and retail costs currently. We're also going to talk about supply, and we're going to talk about all the different pressures that are being applied to the metals market right now and how that may impact them in the coming weeks. There's a lot of information in this video to unpack, so I hope you stick around. Hello everyone, welcome back. We're first going to touch on current spot prices of gold and silver. This is going to kind of be an October 2023 pricing update, and I'm going to show you with some charts how the price has fluctuated in the last 30 days. Beginning of the month, silver was around $21.60 per ounce. That would have been October 2nd. That was the first trading day. The very next day, silver got right around $21 an ounce, and it stayed there for 4 days, October 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th. I did put out a video around that time preaching to people that we're in unique circumstances at that moment, and low price and low premium don't coexist for very long. That would have been a great opportunity to buy some silver on the cheap. So did you? If you did, leave it in the comments. I know I picked up some extra ounces at that point. But if you missed it, that's okay too. There's going to be more opportunity. But that was October 3rd through 6th. About 2.5 weeks later, as I film this, it's actually October 31st. Gold is sitting at about $23.25 per ounce. So that's a $2.25 jump from the October low, which is a little over 11% up. So silver is moving in the positive direction, as you can see by this chart I have here on the screen. What about gold? Gold followed a similar path. The low for the month of October for gold happened October 2nd through October 6th. Pretty much mirroring the time that silver was low for the month, and gold was between $1,820 and $1,840 per ounce. As I film this today on October 31st, 2023, gold has pushed over $2,000 an ounce, which is a 9.9% gain from its October low. So if you were able to add some to your stack at the low this month, you'd be up 10%. That's a pretty great gain in a matter of a few weeks. I also want to talk about wholesale costs. Really the only wholesale cost that has changed recently is the wholesale price of 1 ounce silver rounds. It has went up. My cost is up about 30 cents from where it was maybe 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, 30 cents per ounce. So most other silver prices are the same. Prices on silver bars have remained fairly consistent. Prices on sovereign silver have remained fairly consistent, although price on silver eagles has been jumping up and down a little bit. For whatever reason, I'm sure it's demand based. I did sell a lot of silver eagles in the month of October, more than I've sold in any other month ever. So we had a lot of monster boxes going out the door. I had a whole bunch of impaired silver eagles that came and went. So silver eagles are in demand right now because premiums are low compared to where they've been the last few years. On the gold side, as far as wholesale costs, most gold wholesale wise is about the same price. So you're not going to pay more on a percentage basis necessarily for any type of gold you might want to pick up. There are, however, cheaper options. Fractional US gold is about as cheap as I can ever remember it. So that's a good opportunity to, if you're buying, to pick up fractional US gold for much lower premiums than we were used to. As I talked about in my interview with Silver Seeker about a week ago, we're not too far removed from premiums on a 1/10 ounce American Gold Eagle being 30% over spot. That was earlier this year. Now you can expect retail premiums anywhere from 12 to 14% over spot. That's over a 50% reduction in premium that you have to pay to acquire an American silver eagle, or I'm sorry, a fractional gold eagle. a 1/10 ounce. So that's an incredible opportunity to pick up fractional gold on the cheap. I get the question a lot about supply. How is the supply? In fact, I got a text message about it this morning. Well, currently in store, I have a pretty good supply of most things. Granted, there's probably some things I don't have enough of that maybe you're looking for, but that's something I can always order. But one thing we've noticed with supply recently, 1-ounce silver rounds are starting to see a delay, 2 to 3 week delay on certain ones. There usually are some live that you can find, but if there's specific designs you're seeking out, we're starting to get to the point where there are some delays. I anticipate that possibly can continue. It really just depends on how much pressure the supply faces based on demand. You know, in different parts of the country, if you watch other silver stacking videos, which I sure do, that's what motivated me to start my own channel, but you see people interviewing coin shop owners in New Hampshire and Florida, calling around to different places in the country just to get a feel on demand, and it really varies depending on where you call. I know there's a particular YouTuber that did an interview with his coin shop owner, and he made the comment that business had really slowed. Now, this was in early October. It was at that time where I was busier than ever. Actually, you know what? It was September, because September ended up being one of our busiest months ever here in Minot, where people in other parts of the country were saying how demand had really quieted. So I think it's really geographic based on demand, but the supply chain affects everybody. And the fact that we are seeing delays on 1-ounce silver rounds tells me there could be some other products coming where we see delays. It just really depends on, as I said, demand and how much gets bought up. So if we see another dip in price, you know, recently we've seen an uptick in spot price. When that next dip comes, I really encourage you, if you've been on the fence about stacking, that's the time to buy. Buy when it's low. Buy when the premiums are low. Buy when the spot is low. I always look at 30-day moving averages. It's not a perfect science, but it's a pretty good guide, and you can tell based on that when a low price hits. Gold, there aren't really many delays on the gold market right now. If anything, there's maybe too much gold on the market. As gold charges up, it is near an all-time high. However, it is not at an all-time high in the US dollar. It is at an all-time high in a bunch of different global currencies. The euro, the Chinese yuan. It's near an all-time high in the British pound, the Swedish krona. There's many, many global currencies where gold is hitting that all-time high mark, but it's not in US dollars. Quite strange. Why is that? Well, because the US dollar index still remains strong when compared to the other 6 global currencies on the DXY. And if you're not sure what that is, I'll link a video where I explain the DXY. But anyway, gold is near an all-time high, and when that happens, one of two things typically happen, and I've seen it both ways. Demand slows to where there's nearly no demand, and in fact people start selling back gold. And everything you see on this tray in front of me here right now, this is all gold I bought across the counter yesterday, because gold is near an all-time high in terms measured in the US dollar. On the other hand, as gold starts charging up, I think once it kind of hits its all-time high or gets really, really close, we're only about $30-ish away, I think demand's going to spike again, because now it's going to hit the news cycle. It's going to get people excited, going to get people thinking about owning gold. So I think right now we're kind of at that lull where the smart money people who need fiat currency that have gold are looking at an opportunity to sell at a profit. And that's what's happening right now. There's not a lot of people coming in to purchase gold. But I think that's going to change as the price gets even higher, which is kind of goofy, but that's typical human nature and how that works. But we will talk about some different pressures that are impacting the price, the spot prices of gold and silver. As I said, in the month of October, silver was up over 11% and gold was up nearly 10%. Those are incredible, incredible months. If you can gain 10 or 11% on your investment in 30 days, that's pretty dang good. I would take that every month of the year if that was a guaranteed thing. But obviously, there's pressures that are impacting that. Some of the things, geopolitical impacts with the current war in Ukraine and in the Middle East with Israel, that's impacting the metals. In times of war and uncertainty, investors tend to flock to metals. When that happens, they might get out of other assets and put money into metals. The price starts to drive up. Also, economic impacts with inflation, the lost confidence in our dollar, even though, as I mentioned before, our dollar is supposedly near an all-time high in terms of strength compared to those other currencies on the DXY. People are losing confidence in our dollar globally. In fact, as I sit here, there is a press conference that President Biden is scheduled to make at 2 o'clock today. And there's many talking heads on the YouTube platform and others, Rumble and any type of social media platform, that have speculated that one of the things that's going to be spoken about today is the end of the US dollar, that the US dollar is going to be blacklisted, and at that point might come an announcement for what's next, whether it be a digital currency or a new asset-backed currency. No one really knows. I, for one, don't think that's going to happen. And the fact of the matter is this video isn't probably going to get uploaded before that announcement today. So as you watch this, you'll know whether or not it happened. But I've had many customers in the last 4 days talk to me about that. They're genuinely concerned that Biden's going to go on TV today and declare the US dollar dead. Honestly, it should happen because it is dead. We're so far in debt. So far in debt. You really just need to throw it away and start over. What the right way to go is, we will see, but I, for one, don't want a digital currency because I don't want to give up my privacy and my freedom. But we could do a whole other video on that. But that's one of the pressures that are impacting the price of metals as well, and that's why we've seen this uptick in the month of October, I believe. And of course, the one I don't talk about a lot, but it's manipulation by big banks. The big banks, JP Morgan is one of the biggest ones, can manipulate the metals market with contracts that they buy and sell, long and shorting the market to their benefit. Now this is typically, near the end of the month, they manipulate the price of gold and silver down to benefit them if they have a lot of delivery that has to be made as far as ounces and contracts, because if they manipulate the price down, they'll be able to buy that metal cheaper to deliver the physical metal. Well, for whatever reason, and we'll see how today goes, October 31st, it hasn't really went down. If anything, it's went up in the last week. So it'll be interesting to see if we close at a lower price than I quoted earlier. And I'll put that up on the screen again as I film on Halloween 2023. Silver is at $23.25 per ounce, and gold is at $2,002 per ounce. So, but anyway, there's a lot of stuff going on, as I said, both economically, not just in the US, but globally. Obviously, there's some wars that are being fought. US is starting to become more involved in those wars, so there's some scary things going on. And you know, the safe haven in people's minds has always been gold and silver. So I, for one, what does that mean for metals? You know, for me, it just means consistent stacking. You know, I'm going to continue to keep a good inventory in my business. I'm going to continue to stack in my personal life, because I do believe every day we're one day closer to a big collapse. And I'm not saying that to try to scare you guys. I just believe it's going to happen at some point, and how I prepare is investing in gold and silver. So, but yeah, every day I believe we're one step closer. And when that happens, gold and silver will revalue. It's happened many times over the course of human history that those who hold the metal are those that come out ahead when currency and financial systems fail. And I do believe we are closer than ever, every single day, to that happening. So how are you preparing? Leave it down in the comments if you agree or disagree with anything I said. I always like having discussions with our viewers, but yeah, leave some comments down below if you haven't already. Please subscribe. I checked a stat too. I was watching a Silver Seeker video last night, and he said 59% of the people that watch his videos aren't subscribed. Mine's even higher than that. I'm into the 60s, sometimes 70%, depending on the video. So subscriptions really do help our channels. It helps get it into the algorithm, which gets it out there to people so they can click on it and learn the information we're trying to get out to people. I'm never going to be the doom and gloom type YouTuber. I'm not going to ever predict where gold and silver prices are going to go, but I will always happily talk about where they were and where they are now and where I think they may go. I'm never going to promise anything because truly no one really knows. So if you like this video, be sure to give it a like as well, and feel free to share. I do get a lot of people in the comments saying they always go out and share my videos. I definitely appreciate that. I appreciate your support. Thank you so much. You all have a great day.